Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to start. And we will begin with an item of praise on our national instrument by Mr. Arnil Hackett. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in thanking Master Anil Hackett for a very inspirational rendition on our national instrument. And so the program begins, and I say, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the 8th Annual Awards Function of the Beryl Foundational Educational Foundation Legacy, hosted by the Beryl Educational Legacy Committee and the Montgomery Steel Ensemble. And we continue in praise and thanksgiving. And at this time, I invite us all to stand as we continue to entrust this event into God's hands. And now ask Reverend Sherman Wilkinson to please lead us in prayer.
Most kind, loving, our Heavenly Father, indeed you are an awesome God. You are the God who has done everything in excellence. And so we gather this evening, oh God, to celebrate what you have done with our children, your children, the blessings of success that has come their way. Almighty God, continue to be present in this, our activity. Bless, oh God, the group that continues to ensure that this memorial continues year after year. Bless the daughter, her husband, and all the other loved ones, Almighty God, who are the brainchild of this event. And so, Lord, through your most loving kindness and your goodness, all will be done well because you are present here and you are God, the God who doeth all things well. Receive our continued thanks and praise and blessings. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Reverend Wilkinson, for this blessing and blessing this event with the power of fervent prayer. Kindly be seated. So kindly allow me to recognize Reverend Esther Moore Roberts, pastor of the Montgomery Moravian Church. All the other pastors, Reverend Sherman Wilkinson, Reverend Dr. Annette James, and other members of the clergy present. I recognize as well Mr. Jeffrey Joseph, the chairman of the Board of Stewards, and other members of the board. There are some persons who are not here yet, and so I will acknowledge them when they come. Mrs. Wendy Jack Harris and Mr. James Harris. I recognize and welcome as well members of the Beryl Educational Legacy Committee, as well as members of the Montgomery Steel Ensemble, both headed by Chair Odette Joseph. I recognize and welcome as well persons associated with the Montgomery Early Childhood Care and Education Center, as well as principals and teachers of other schools, or past presenters. We welcome you, we salute you, we thank you for your presence. Or generous contributors from within the Montgomery Moravian community, persons outside of the congregation, as well as supporters of the initiative who live abroad, who are online, and who give so generously. I recognize and welcome as well all parents, guardians, well-wishers. Welcome all photographers, members of the media, all those persons who are viewing online. And at this time, of course, I issue a very, very ultra special welcome to our 2026 SEA awardees. I'm not seeing you too well this afternoon, but I want to say congratulations on your success. You have done well. We are proud of you, and we are looking forward to celebrating with you this afternoon. So I am, for those of you who don't know me, Reverend Zelma Cowie, and I'm once again honored to have been asked to chair this evening's proceedings. It is an honor and a privilege. And therefore, on behalf of the organizing committee, I welcome you all most sincerely to this year's edition of the Beryl Educational Legacy Program. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, when we reflect on the spirit of Beryl February 3rd, 1940 to September 14th, 2018, we are constantly reminded, as a matter of fact, that education is certainly not only about books and classrooms. At Montgomery, you have shown the world that it is about opening doors. It is about nurturing potential. And it is about building a foundation on which young minds have the opportunities to thrive. And so this vision remains the cornerstone of the organizing committee. This year's program is themed Honoring Academic Excellence, Celebrating Future Leaders, and we are going to do just that. I am also pleased to announce that the foundation plans to deepen its impact further, but more on this later. As you sit there, we all know that nothing happens in a vacuum. The strength of this foundation rests squarely on your generosity, the generosity and the dedication of shared beliefs of everyone in this room. You have given gifts of talents, you have given of your time, your treasure, and it is because of you that this afternoon is possible. And so therefore, as we kick off this afternoon's program, please take note as you look around and you see the beauty of the whole. Take note that every gift given, every student recognized and awarded is a step forward to honoring a legacy that continues to transform lives. So once again, let me, on behalf of the organizing committee, thank you for being here. Thank you for your unwavering support, and do enjoy being with us on this very exciting journey this afternoon. And so we continue, and I'd like to say that it is indeed my distinct honor and privilege to invite to the podium at this time a very dedicated spiritual leader, a passionate educator, a staunch supporter of this initiative, both of the Montgomery Steel Ensemble, being a panelist herself, and of this Beryl Foundational Legacy Initiative. She is a minister whose life and whose work reflect a deep commitment to faith, to Christian education, and to uplifting youth. She is a voice of wisdom, a voice of compassion and encouragement, not only in this congregation, but wherever she's called upon to serve and to witness. So please join with me in giving a very warm and a very hearty welcome to Reverend Esther Moore Roberts, who will bring greetings to us in her own inimitable fashion.
They really block you in through, girl. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Madam Chairperson, Reverend Zelma Cowie. Oh, how I feel good to be able to call you by your official name. And good afternoon to my colleagues in ministry, the members of the Montgomery Steel Ensemble and the Beryl Legacy Foundation Committee, Awards Committee, all our generous donors, those who are listening online, awardees, attendees. Isn't this a great day to be able to celebrate goodness, success, hard work? Joel 1:3 says, tell your children about it, and let your children tell their children and their children, the next generation. In Tobago language, we'll say, tell your picnic them about this. Let your picnic them tell their picnic, and their picnic them tell the next generation. It is our responsibility to pass on the truths of the gospel and the truths about our lives and the truths about persons who serve. This church has been given the mandate to pass on to the generations the truths of God's word. And interestingly enough, Joel 1 verse 3 was addressed to parents and children. It is an honor, therefore, to use it in this act of celebration here this afternoon. Because the church that is obedient to God's word is a church that understands how to bring success to its generations. It is an honor to be part of a church and represent a church that recognizes the importance of education. Education impacts people from the womb to the tomb. As an educator, I've always said, and if you're pregnant here today, remember, children learn to speak and children learn intonation from the womb, womb, which is a watery environment, and water is a conductor of sound. So we're inviting you, if you're pregnant, start to tell the children from now that the God we serve requires us to tell the truth about persons like Beryl Jack. The God we serve requires us to tell the truth about the Steel Ensemble, and that the Moravian Church was the first church to have steel band music played in its sanctuary. We are required to tell the truth that it is not easy work to ensure that every year we honor the children of our land and to set them up for the future at secondary level. We are required to tell the truth that all of them will not always stay straight, but we have a responsibility to forgive and to guide them along the way. Today, this church is honored to have had workers like Beryl Jack. She was so instrumental in raising up this Steel Ensemble, and every time I speak about that, I have to confess that I did not continue when we started together. I am still a member of the Steel Ensemble. Sister, where's Sister Cathy? And when Brother Anil was playing, I said to Reverend Sherman, one day I go play like that. I'm honored to be part of a church that waits for its leaders to progress and improve. The church which is attached or which started primary education and remains connected to education. It is an honor to be part of a church that continues to support the development of all its children. So on behalf of this church, Montgomery Moravian Church, its joint boards, pastors, and members, let me congratulate the Beryl Jack Legacy Committee for hosting yet another successful award ceremony. And most of all, let me congratulate you young leaders, you past and present awardees, for making us proud, and most of all, making God proud. Keep your passion, and remember, God has a purpose for your very lives. God bless us all. Have a wonderful afternoon of celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Esther. Thank you for your words, your kind words. Thank you for encouraging persons to pass the gospel message of God's word, just as you are asking them to pass on the good news of what is being done here at the Montgomery Moravian Church with respect to ensuring the furtherance of education among our nation's youth. Thank you so much. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, our first presentation will go to the Montgomery, the Early Childhood Care and Education Center. I thought I was going to get a thing where I don't have to peep over, but that's okay. Yes, so one of the first presentations, of course, will be to the Early Childhood Care and Education Center. Why? Because Sister Beryl Jack was one of the main architects behind the establishment of this learning institution. And so each year, in honor of her memory, the school receives a gift which is intended to enhance the educational value of the children there. And so this year, the school will be blessed with a compendium of supplies for recreational activities. I understand that the principal, Ms. Sharon Kirk, the principal is not here, and so I have been told that I can ask Ms. Luann Gardner to collect on behalf of the school, and I'd like to ask, is Mr. Jeffrey Joseph here? To ask Uncle Jeffrey if he would kindly come and do this presentation, please. Thank you. Thank you very much, Brother Jeffrey. And so we move now to reflections of the 2025 awardee, the top awardee for 2025. And I am sure that this was an eventful one for all of the first formers who were here, perhaps at this very same time last year, in your position, and they have now gone through a whole year of secondary schooling. And I am sure that we are all very anxious to know how the former first formers have fared. I'm sure that the experiences were good, great, not so great, but all of these would have contributed to your growth and development. And so the top awardee of the Beryl R. Jack Educational Legacy Program last year, 2025, is now 13 years old. She's now a teenager. And she's a past student, getting big, they're getting big before our very eyes. And she's a former student of the Signal Hill Government Primary School. She remains a committed member of the Montgomery Moravian Church, and I understand that she assists with teaching Sunday school as well. So I am sure that we are all very curious to know what the year has been like. So let me then introduce last year's top awardee as she shares her experiences. Please welcome Miss Sierra Brebner.
Good afternoon, everyone. First year, Bishopian. Coming into high school was more interesting than I thought. I expected not too many hard subjects, lots of friends, and not many bullies. Not every day was vanilla ice cream and honey, but lemons and lemonade, sometimes sweet, sometimes sour. Some days there were drama, some days were fun days, and some days were just test days. Entering those halls made me feel that I got the key to the gateway of popularity. But to be honest, I didn't understand why many people were so unwelcoming. First, it was about making friends. To be so real, I was friends with almost every child in the first 4-year group. So much that there would be times one friend group got too boring or too out of hand that I would go to another one. And yes, that had a lot of its problems. Some friends were real, some were fake. Some were rumor spreaders, some were rumor listeners. Some did work and some didn't. Speaking of that brings me to group projects. Oh boy. I met so many different types of personalities, many. I expected them to be fun, everyone doing work. But no one warned me of some of the children that did absolutely none. Some would forget a part and we spent the entire lunchtime trying to figure it out. Some forgot it had the project due. Some were the I'm not doing that type of person. And some were never in meetings, in school, or just didn't care about their grades. I soon had to develop a plan, see who my members were, make a note of who did their work from who didn't, start it, but along the way, ask the members for their parts. If they didn't have it, I would put it in, but if not, DIY. Do it yourself. In some cases, and the entire project could become a DIY, because no way I'm losing my good grade streak just because others didn't care. I am already keeping my position in the top 10 in my class for 3 terms straight so far, and finally made the honor roll. Please. But at the same time, most were fun. Like the time in term 2 when we had to make kites, and the time when we had to bake our muffins. Thanks to my grandmother for teaching me baking tips and more from food and nutrition, our group had the best muffins. It was the first and best time we baked in those conditions. The softness, sweetness, and a little tanginess, I can still taste the strawberry cinnamon muffins in my mouth to this day. It can sometimes be good. I'll have experiences of people you would never forget. But through all this, I must be doing something to keep positive, right? That's how volleyball became one of my favorite sports. The really hard training sessions to the mini competitions where we all learned good sportsmanship and discipline. I had after school or before school band practice. So yes, I had to find some way to keep those grades up. Don't worry, I found a way. I had to start routines. Waking up at 5:30, do devotions, and be ready for school by 7:10. Go to school, come home, rest, start studies and homework at 5:30 p.m. and finish at 8 p.m. Then rest a little and bed at 9 p.m. Some nights I would be up studying because I had to put in extra work or finish a part of a project someone promised to send. It was a lot to carry in my first year of high school. Motivation kept me going. God kept me going. Bible verses I would repeat almost every day were, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I try to never give up. Try to never give up, no matter what comes your way in life. And remember, suicide is never the answer to your life problems. God will always work it out. As much as it is possible, limit the uses of social media and devices. There are major distractions on this journey. Even if your friends spend lots of time on theirs, limit yours. Find friends that are of like minds. The others may persuade you to do different. to be different. At school, be attempted. If you miss school, getting the work is your responsibility. Try not to take shortcuts or outsmart your teachers. It never ends well. All of your actions have consequences. It's better to be honest from the beginning to the end. We are also now in an era of AI. Please know that AI is a tool and it should not think for you. Participate in your school activities, sports day, academics, and fundraisers, just as our Moravian Church has taught us. As I close, I want to thank God for keeping me safe and sane. My teachers who led me through the difficult journey through my first year, my mother, father, grandparents, and other family for being the most important pillars to keeping me up. And most thanks to the church community. Thank you for your support, guiding words, and prayers that brought me here safely. And before I forget, I want to say a special thank you to the Montgomery Steel Assemble and Mr. Moses for gifting me a study table. It has been the most valuable in my study area and time. I truly appreciate it, and the study light that was donated by the Alliance. I pray that God's blessing shall cover all of us present today in the new September term. Be explanatory students. Be Moravian students. Be Christ-like students. Do not conform to your classroom. Be the change of the future. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Sierra. Please know that we are really very proud of you, because what we have heard, what we have witnessed through your words, we have witnessed a growth. That kind of growth which demonstrates that you are able to discriminate about who you let into your inner circle. You have been very, very explicit about that. You have told us, too, that you need to be self-motivated, that you cannot rely on others to do the work. You know, these are the people that you are going to meet in life. You know, the parable of the weeds, where, you know, the good, the bad, they grow together, but there will be a time of reckoning. There will be a time of separation. And you have also learned that. And the Bible verses, I want those persons who are coming up to recognize as well what strong faith in God means, especially when you're faced with challenges. Be Christ-like, she said, in everything that you do. So, Sierra, thank you so much, and we continue to wish you God's blessings. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to recognize Mrs. Shamfor Cudjoe Lewis. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for being here. Happy to have you. So we now go to the presentation of awards 2026. And this ensuing exercise, this presentation of gifts, certificates, they are being given to students, you see them resplendently clad there before us, who have sat and successfully passed the Secondary Entrance Assessment Examinations, SEA 2026. So it is hoped that this generous gesture will assist your parents, your guardians, and you as you all prepare for the next leg of your academic journey. So, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, our awardees will receive a certificate of achievement. They will receive textbooks. They will receive school supplies, and they will receive an HP printer and a modest financial blessing. All courtesy contributions received from generous donors. So I am going to ask that as the awardee's name is called, that parents, guardians, godmothers, godfathers, teachers, supporters, well-wishers, please stand in solidarity with our young awardees. And we are asked as well as parents to assist them with managing, and when I say so, physically managing their gifts as well. And just a small note, I want to indicate that this year and last year as well, the foundation has not provided computers because this has been promised. These devices were promised by the government. So therefore, what we are doing is taking it a little further and providing them with printers that they can get their work done at home. Okay? So that's what we mean about deepening the impact of the foundation. And so we have our first awardee. And our first awardee is Miss Master Trazim Rayon London. And Trazim is 13 years old. Trazim attended the James Hole School of Excellence, and he will be moving on to the Mason Hall Secondary School at the start of the new school term. Trazim's favorite subject, English language, and for this he was recognized for the most improved student in creative writing. He aspires to be an electrician and is committed to working towards that goal. Outside of academics, Trazim enjoys playing the steel pan and is a bass player with his band. He's an active member of the St. Mary's Boys Football Club, and he previously participated very zealously in the school's 4-H club. So, of course, Trazim is a faithful attendee of the Montgomery Moravian Church, where he continues to grow in his faith while balancing his academic, musical, and sporting interests. So I'd now like this the HP printer was donated courtesy Victor and the Patricia calendar. And so we're asking, now we have some monetary presentations. So we have two families. We have Wendy Jack Harris and her husband James. And then we also have the John family. So we will do it alternately. So at this time, I'd like either Wendy or her husband to please present, oh, sorry, Wendy, you're right here, good, to present the financial donation to Trazim. Trazim, we're not done with you yet. So Trazim, congratulations, and we do wish you well on the next leg of your academic journey. Thank you so much. Go with God and go well. Our second awardee is an 11-year-old student of the Montgomery Government Primary School, and during her time there, she was recognized for her academic dedication, her exemplary character, and commitment to excellence. These qualities have inspired her dream of pursuing a career as a medical doctor. Her favorite subject is language arts, and she enjoys reading, writing, and expressing her creativity. She's blushing. She's also a faithful member of the Montgomery Moravian Church and participates in Sunday school. At the beginning of the new school term, Jalissa, yes, her name is Jalissa, she will be attending the Goodwood Secondary School, and she's looking forward to this new chapter in her academic journey and is determined to continue striving for academic excellence while working towards achieving future goals. So Jalissa, Daniel, please take center stage. Congratulations, well done, and we wish you every success going forward. So she's going to receive a certificate of achievement from the foundation. And the HP printer is courtesy Mike's Holiday Resorts. And so we're going to ask Giovanni, Master Giovanni, I hope Giovanni's here. I haven't seen him for a while. Good. Yes, I just know he has gotten very tall. So this is Master Giovanni Roberts. And Giovanni is going to present the school supplies. And then we're going to ask the John family to present the financial donation or the financial gift. So who is standing with Jalissa? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we have to stand in the gap for our children. Okay. Our third awardee. Oh, sorry. The gift. And we really want to say thank you for believing in the cause. Thank you. So we go now to our third awardee. And our third awardee is a proud alumnus of the James Home School of Excellence. Over the years, he has developed into an exceptionally dedicated student with a strong aptitude for academics, particularly in language arts and creative writing. In recognition of his outstanding performance in his favorite subject, he was honored with the Language Arts Award at his school's graduation. Beyond the classroom, this young man is actively involved in arts and culture. I understand he does the speech band. He's actively involved as well in the environment, things environmental, in entrepreneurship, and community service. Notably, in 2021, he was named the Express Junior Individual of the Year in the field of entrepreneurship. And he is, in fact, the proud owner and managing director of, wouldn't call his name, Easy Grow Plant Pro, a greenhouse business. Further, his participation in diverse activities, including golf, chess, swimming, playing pan with the RBC Redemption Youth Academy, and various environmental initiatives, has cultivated in him strong qualities of discipline, leadership, teamwork, and a strong sense of responsibility. And this young man is one of strong faith and character, also a member of the church's Sunday school and the Sunday school choir. So this 12-year-old gentleman will begin his secondary education at Bishop's High School. His name is Jalen Dijon Edwards, and he has distinguished himself as a promising young leader who aspires one day to pursue a career as a, take your time, Zelma, geneticist. So this is what he wants to do. And so Jalen will receive a certificate of achievement from the foundation, textbook, school supplies, and we asking, is Auntie Muddy here? Lady Cooper, are you here? Okay, she isn't here. So can I ask Reverend Wilkinson to do this presentation, please? Sorry to pounce on you. and the HP printer, courtesy Dr. Zelicia Guy. And we asking Mr. Harris, James, to come and do the needful in terms of the financial contributions. Jillian, who's this lady here that has come to take your books? Thank you. Our fourth awardee, 13 years old, a proud graduate of the Montgomery Government Primary School. At her graduation, she received the Academic Excellence Award in recognition of her outstanding academic performance and dedication to her studies. Beyond academics, this young lady is highly creative and gifted with her hands. She enjoys sewing, knitting, art and craft, and using her talents to create beautiful and practical items. Her creativity, patience, and attention to detail are qualities that continue to shape her personal growth. She has a keen interest in business, and she aspires to become an entrepreneur while also pursuing a career in teaching. Her favorite subject is mathematics because she enjoys the challenges and the problem-solving opportunities that this subject provides. She's also an active member of the church's Sunday school, where she continues to grow in faith, in character, and in service. In September, she will begin the next chapter of her life at the Pentecostal Light and Life Foundation High School. And so with her strong academic foundation, her creative talents, and her ambitious goals, she looks forward to embracing new opportunities and achieving continued success. And so I am speaking about Miss Kezia Roberts. So congratulations, Kezia. And Kezia will receive a certificate of achievement from the foundation, textbooks and supplies, and the HP printer is courtesy the youth group of yesteryear, and we want to invite Mr. Earl Duncan to present the school supplies. Earl? And so when we say the youth group of yesteryear, these are persons who just a few years ago were just like you, and they all belonged to the youth group here under Beryl Jack. And so what is happening, and it's an important lesson for you, is that they are giving back. So when you receive, the only thing we are asking of you is to help somebody else along the way so that they too will achieve. And so this is Kezia's mommy. Well done, Kezia. Congratulations. And don't go anywhere, Kezia, because we are going to be presenting a financial gift to you. And Wendy, Auntie Wendy is going to do this for you. And Wendy is, of course, the daughter of Beryl Jack. So congratulations, Kezia. We're wishing you well as you go ahead. And I'd like to perhaps state at this time that this is the highest number of awardees. When this event started, the first year there were 4, and it fluctuated between maybe 4 and 6. So things are looking up. This is number 8, and as a matter of fact, it may even be 9. Our 5th awardee is a 12-year-old past student of the Lambo Anglican Primary School. And this young man is both academically gifted and athletically talented. At his graduation, he received awards for track and field, for football, and for the most improved in creative writing academically. Despite his achievements across several subject areas, mathematics remains his favorite. He has established himself as one of Tobago's outstanding young distance runners. In both 2025 and 2026, he won the Tobago Primary School's 3K Championship. In 2025, he also captured the National Primary School's 3K road race. And this year, he was crowned Juvenile Champion after winning the under 13 800 meters and 1,000 meter events. But that's not all. Last year, he proudly represented his club, Tobago Select, at the Flying Angels Track and Field Classic in Toronto, Canada. And he earned a 2nd place finish in the 1,500 meter and the 1,800 meter event, setting a new meet record in the process. So you have international stars here. And so he is also a committed member of the Montgomery Moravian Church, and he participates in all church sporting activities, always striving to make his church proud. And Taj, if you don't know, you come from an extremely athletic family. And so the apple has not fallen far from the tree. So in September, Taj Moses, he will begin his secondary education at the Signal Hill Secondary School, where he intends to continue excelling in athletics while proudly representing his new school, the island of Tobago, at future sporting activities. And he has promised to do exceptionally well at his academics also. And so a bright future awaits. He's poised to achieve even greater success as the years unfold. So let's welcome Taj Moses. And Taj will receive a certificate of achievement from the foundation, textbooks, school supplies, and his HP printer is courtesy Assemblyman Darren Henry and Mrs. Henry. Mrs. Henry is here. Is that VCIC before me? Congratulations, Taj. Well done, and wishing you every success. And Taj, don't go yet, unless you don't want mommy to know, but you have a little monetary gift to get here. And so we ask Ms. John to kindly So we are down to 6 of 8. And our 6th awardee is a young lady called Miss Janine Hackett. Janine is on her, what do I call it? Her gift. So she's not here with us. Okay, so she's out of the country. But we are going to congratulate and recognize Janine because at the start of the new school year, 12-year-old Janine Hackett will begin her studies at Bishop's High School. Janine is a proud graduate of the Bonaccord Government Primary School, where she has distinguished herself through her dedication and her seriousness in academics. Her love for language arts earned her a special award at graduation, and she was further honored as the most outstanding academic female of her class. Her talents extend far beyond the classroom because Janine has a passion for cooking and she dreams of becoming an executive chef. She's already envisioning a future filled with creativity and flavor. When she's not studying or cooking, Janine brings music to life, playing the tenor pan with the RBC Redemption Youth Academy. I'm not sure if she's tutored by her brother, but her faith and her values are nurtured at the Montgomery Moravian Church, where she attends worship and Sunday school, grounding her achievements in humility and community. And so her brother will receive the certificate, the gifts on her behalf. A certificate from the foundation, textbooks, supplies, and the HP printer is courtesy Reverend Dr. Annette James. So we're just asking Reverend James to join us. And, okay, we have already called Janine to tell her that the financial gift is on its way. So do convey our love and best wishes. And so we are on to our 7th awardee, another gentleman. And the gender balance was perfect this year again. We have 4 male, 4 females. Okay, so doing a lot of things well here at Montgomery. So our 7th awardee is 12 years old, and he's a proud past student of the Signal Hill Government Primary School. Indeed, he's a well-rounded and accomplished student, because he excels in both academics and co-curricular activities. On the football field, he served as vice captain of the school's under-15 team, and he scored the decisive goal in the championship final. He also proudly represented his school in cricket, spelling bee, mathalon, and in music festival championships. So he seems to be operating on both sides of the brain. At graduation, this gentleman received numerous awards in recognition of his outstanding academic achievements. And he also received awards in honor of cricket, football, and music. His distinction as the Top Achiever 2026 and Best All-Round Student reflect his commitment to excellence in almost every aspect of school life. Currently, he's an agile and indispensable defender with the Ball Blasters Youth Academy, where he competes in both the under-12 and the under-13 teams. Away from the football field, he enjoys beach football and he loves playing chess, demonstrating his love for both physical activity and strategic thinking. He is also a proud member, a dedicated member of this church, and he remains grounded in faith through active participation in Sunday school and the church choir. In September, he will begin his secondary education at Bishop's High School. With a passion for technology and a clear vision for the future, he aspires to become a network specialist while continue to excel and to balance his passion for both academics and sports. I'm talking about Mr. LeSean Gardner. And LeSean will receive certificate of achievement from the foundation, textbook, supplies, and an HP printer, courtesy the Montgomery Steel Ensemble. And he will receive a financial gift courtesy the Harris family. And we're supposed to have asked Delise to have presented it, but I see male Delise. Yeah, Delise was supposed to have presented the books. Okay, so let's get a photo up with Delise because Delise represents the Montgomery Steel Ensemble. And LeSean, stay where you are for financial gifting from Mr. James Harris. Okay. So are we going to sing happy birthday for him? Yeah, that's since you told me raise it. Because I can't. 3, 4. Stand, LeSean. Stand, LeSean. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. 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 Happy birthday to you. Today is a good day. Our 8th awardee is 12 years old, a proud graduate of the Scarborough Roman Catholic Primary School. During her time there, she excelled both academically and athletically. She's a talented netball player and was awarded a medal for this outstanding performance at her school's graduation. Her passion for mathematics and art continues to inspire her as she prepares to begin to transition to her new school, the Signal Hill Secondary School, in September. Beyond the classroom, she's deeply involved in her faith community She attends this church, where she actively participates in Sunday school and sings in the choir. She also serves by reading scripture lessons during services when called upon. She's committed to excellence, and she's committed to service. And this makes her an example for her peers and a source of pride for her family and the church community. Please welcome Sterlia Roberts. And Sterlia will receive school supplies, textbooks, an HP printer courtesy Brother Whitney Alfred. And Sterlia has a good contingent here today. So we're going to ask his sister Beverly Jack here to hand over on behalf of Brother Whitney. Is Bev here? Good, she's coming. And we have a financial gift. Mr. John. Good. So remember again that I said, it was more than a hint that time, that the organization, the committee, this year is committed to deepening its impact in various ways. So on this occasion, the committee is reaching across the aisle to include at least one person this year from one of its congregation, from another of its congregation. And so this year, the organizing committee is more than happy to include a deserving young student from the Buku Moravian Church. And this wonderful person is 12-year-old, beautiful name, Genesis Rochford. And she attended the Buku Government Primary School, and she will be entering in September the Scarborough Secondary School. And so I am pleased to announce, I'm not going to keep you in suspense, that the Best Performing Student Award for the Beryl Jack Educational Legacy 2026 goes to, drumroll, Master Lishon Gardner. So this is what you call a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lishon. Unforgettable. And today, Lishon is being provided with the stimulus to study even more diligently, because in addition to the other gifts which he has received, he is going to receive a voucher to the sum of $500 courtesy the Bethel Credit Union. And this is being presented by Miss Barbara Johnson, the chairman of the credit committee of the Bethel Credit Union. Miss Johnson? Miss Johnson, somehow I believe I said something incorrect. I have no problem being corrected. Oh, sorry. See what I mean? My apologies. I said credit committee, but it is the Bethel Credit Union. President of the Bethel Credit Union. My apologies, sincerely. And so, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to invite all of you center stage because I'm going to ask Reverend Dr. Annette James to bless you and to entrust you once more that God will keep you in the palm of his hands always. So just put whatever you have down and just come center stage, and she's going to bestow a blessing upon you this afternoon. She wants, just hold on. Yeah, they come in. You're coming here? Mm-hmm. But, sorry. No problem.
Bless the Lord. Can I ask you, recipients of these wonderful awards, to come forward? Amen. Let's hear it, congregation. Let's give God the praise that he deserves. It's no secret that we are proud of you guys. We are so thankful to God for taking you along this road, encouraging you and providing for you and causing you to come out finishing strong. You all did it. And we are thankful this evening. Nothing blesses us more than what God says about us. Contrary to what people may say about us, what matters is what God says about you. So as you look at me, I want you to embrace Psalm 127, where God talks about you. And he says, "You are my heritage. You belong to me. I have given you to your parents, but you belong to me. You are my heritage. You are the fruit of your mother's womb, and I have given you to her and to your dad as my reward. As arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, so are you the children of the youth. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them." Now, parents, that doesn't mean the more children you have, the happier you are. Some quivers are small and some are large. Happy is the man whose quiver is full of you children. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. This means that the country, your family, your church, your community is expecting you to answer for us. When things go wrong, we look to the young and the strong. We don't look to old people to fight for us. We look to young, brilliant, excellent minds to solve problems and to meet the challenges of our community. Amen. So you are the future. The future begins here, and it is excellent. It is marvelous in our sight. We are so proud of you, so thankful. And at this point, I want to pronounce a blessing on you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord continue to keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you and give you his peace now and always. And let your family say, amen. You are blessed. Be a blessing to the schools that you go to. Amen. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Reverend Annette. And thank you very much to our awardees. And just a brief note that at the end of the ceremony, at the end of everything, the awardees will, before you get merged into the audience, you will assemble here so that we can get some photo opportunities so that you can have your keepsake. All right? So at the end of everything else, don't go rushing off. Please come here. At this time, we just break for a cause, and we have a rendition by our past trainees. I understand they have been practicing feverishly so that they have a special rendition for you. This is also another aspect, another new aspect to the proceedings. So please welcome those persons that you see dressed there are all former awardees. And so they're going to do a special selection for us.
Some dreams live on in time forever. Those dreams you want with all your heart. So I'll do whatever it takes, follow through with the promise I made. Put it all on the line. What I hope for at last would be mine. If I could reach higher, just for a moment touch the sky. From now a moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Now that I try my very best, I put my spirit to the test. If I could reach, Some days I'm only remembered. Those days we rise above the stars. So I'll go the distance this time, see it more, the higher I climb. And the more I believe, the more that this dream would be mine. If I could reach higher, just for a moment touch the sky. From now a moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Now that I've tried my very best, I put my spirit to the test. If I could reach higher, just for a moment touch the sky. From now a moment in my life, I'm gonna be stronger. Now that I've tried my very best, I put my spirit to the test. If I could reach, if I could reach.
Let's hear it one more time for them. And the song, If I Could Reach. And indeed, you can reach. Because you know there's the expression that the sky is the limit. And I remember a few years ago, one of your congregants, Junior Lawrence, he said, there's this expression that the sky is the limit. But my son told me, Daddy, for us, the sky is just the beginning. So you can reach and you will reach, but you just have to aspire to reaching. Believe and you can achieve. Okay? And so, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we have a brief segment. We call it The Whole Story. His story, her story. A journey towards success. And just like the Heritage Festival 2026, whose theme this year is The Whole Story. So we want to be able to invite you to share the whole story. And so, because the committee decided that instead of having one person to represent the entire cohort, that we're going to give each student, each awardee, 2 minutes to just share his or her own journey during this, in preparing for the SEA examinations. And we're hoping that it will inspire others, that parents would listen, and so that the journey ahead for others will not be as demanding. And so each person will speak for not more than 3 minutes, just sharing their SEA journey through perhaps some stormy seas, but landing on the shores of success. And so we will go in order. We will have Trizim, followed by Jalissa, and then Jalen, Kezia, Taj, well, Janeem isn't here, so that we'll have Lishon and Sterlia. So let's welcome Trizim, and let's welcome all of them as we honor their academic excellence and we celebrate our future leaders. So please join me here, Trizim.
My name, wait. My name is Shazim London, and my preparation
Just want to get it right, eh?
for my exam was very difficult because in school we had done plenty past papers, plenty homework, and I also had to attend evening classes after school. So it was very tiring for me. I couldn't play games, watch TV, or be on my phone. But at the end of it all, I was very successful for the school of choice that I passed for, Mason Hall Secondary School.
Jalissa?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jalissa Daniel. My time at primary school, in my opinion, was the best time of my life. Even though it had struggles, my family supported me through those struggles. I am thankful for my teachers and family support. My mother stopped me from playing online games, and I made that's not working.
Okay, so we have Jalen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Fellow awardees, all protocol observed. My name is Jalen Edwards, and I am here to share my SCA journey. My SCA journey has been one of the most meaningful and rewarding experiences of my primary school life. It was one of hard work, continuous prayers, and determination, and personal growth. Although at a lot of times I was stressed, tired, overwhelmed, and doubted my abilities when I felt challenged. Sometimes I just wanted to give up, but I knew my dreams were worth fighting for. In the first term of Standard 4, my mother realized that I was behind in the syllabus. She had to enroll me in extra classes. However, eventually, I had to transition to homeschooling to cover all the topics needed for SCA. It was a new environment, but I quickly adjusted and was given one-on-one attention to get me up to speed with the syllabus and on par with my other classmates. I decided I had to push myself a little bit harder with the topics that were still giving me trouble, because I understood how important it was to keep my grades up. When it was approximately 6 months before the exam, I was hospitalized, and that sent me into a slump. The stress and fear of battling schoolwork and being in the hospital had me depressed for a moment. But I knew what I wanted, and I was not allowing my time there to hold me back from performing and keeping my grades up. My parents, family members, and teacher never once let me do this by myself. They supported and prayed with me every day on this journey. I started to work on past papers, putting in extra hours of studying, trying to improve in areas where I faced challenges. I remained committed and focused on getting the work done and doing my best. There were also moments when balancing schoolwork and my other activities were difficult, but with the support of my parents, family, and teacher, I learned to stay disciplined and motivated. On the day of my exam, I felt both nervous and excited, but I remained calm, prayed, and reminded myself that I had prepared well, and all I needed to do was my best. This journey has helped shape me into a more responsible, resilient, and determined individual. One of my greatest blessings throughout this SEA journey was the support I received from my teacher, parents, and family, because they believed in me and encouraged me to push beyond my limits. I could not have gone through this journey without praise. On results night, I was extremely nervous while opening the portal. However, when I saw that I passed for my first choice, I began to cry with tears of joy, because I knew I worked hard and my hard work had paid off. I am grateful to God for guiding me throughout this journey and giving me the strength to overcome every obstacle, because there were numerous times I felt like giving up, because I was extremely overwhelmed and exhausted. I am excited to go to my new school, and I intend to use every opportunity to continue to strive for success in all that I do. Thank you.
Kezia?
Good afternoon to the Good afternoon to the congregation. Preparing for SEA was one of the most significant experiences of my life of primary school journey. Throughout this period, I remained dedicated to achieving academics excellence by strengthening my skills in each subject. I approached each lesson with determination, listened attentively to my teachers, completed my assignment responsibly. I sought guidance, discipline, and perseverance. Most importantly, I placed my trust in God, praying for wisdom, strength, and understanding as I worked towards my goals. Outside the classroom, I devoted many hours to revising my lessons, completing practice exercises, and practice papers, questions. My family provided me with constant encouragement, support, and motivation throughout this journey. This made my sacrifice to help me remain focused, including limiting my television time, monitoring my use of electronic devices and reducing the amount of time I spent socializing with friends. Although these restrictions were sometimes difficult, I understood also reminded me to the importance of keeping God at the center of my perspiration through prayers and faith. These lessons taught me the value of discipline, responsibility, and dedication. As SEA approached, I experienced both excitement and nervousness, but I remained confident because I knew I had given my best foot forward. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to my teacher, Sir Scotland, whose patience, guidance, and encouragement played an important role in my success. His belief in my abilities motivated me to continue striving for excellence. I am equally thankful to my family for their love, sacrifices, and unwavering support. As I move forward, I will carry the value of faith, determination, resilience, and hard work with me, knowing that God's guidance, all things are possible.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Taj Moses, and I am proud to have attended Lambo Anglican Primary School. As I prepare to begin a new chapter at the St. Helens Secondary School, I would like to share a little about my journey. Primary school had many happy memories, but it was not always easy. In 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic began, learning online was very challenging for me. There were times when I struggled, but was never alone. My family, teachers, and friends encouraged me, supported me, and helped me to keep me going. When school reopened, I became involved in football and athletics. Being active helped me build confidence, stay focused, and became more disciplined in my schoolwork. As I entered Standard 4, my parents enrolled me in extra lessons to help me prepare for the sea. By Standard 5, I had become more focused and determined, and I felt ready to do my best. Looking back, I realized that every challenge helped me grow stronger. I learned that with hard work, determination, and the support of people who believe in you, you can achieve your goals. I am excited for the opportunities ahead. Most importantly, I thank God for giving me the strength throughout this journey, and thank my church family, Montgomery, Moravian Church, for their prayers, support, and for recognizing my efforts. Today, thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Deshaun Gardner, and I am a proud past student of the Signal Hill Government Primary School. My SCA journey at Signal Hill started from day one. My mother and deceased grandmother, being educators, left no room for time wasting. From infant one, I was expected to deliver the highest possible grade because, as my granny always said, Luan, that boy have brain. I started off very shy, being all academics, but by standard 3, I started exploring several extracurricular activities. Before you know it, I was in Standard 5 and the SCH booklet drill came. Nevertheless, my firm foundation from the previous years afforded me the ability to avoid most of the SCA prep stress. I was able to study hard at school during the week, maintain my football and tournament involvement, attend online Sunday school classes, and drop into some occasional mathematics sessions with my godmother, Dr. Risa Batiste, who believed that I was destined for her alma mater, Bishop's High School. I am thankful for my God. I remember how nervous I was in February when my love for football landed me in a cast. I missed school for a while, but God delivered me through it all. I am thankful for my parents who ensure that I am supported in the classroom and at every game. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I am thankful to my past principal and teachers, my church family, my godparents, and my aunts and uncles abroad who always check in and support my journey. To future SCA students, study hard, manage your time, and go after your God-given potential. Thank you.
Sterling.
Good afternoon, church. This journey seemed like it was going to last forever. It was going from school to additional classes in the evening and doing booklets at home. 3 weeks before the exam, I'd question myself, will I pass or fail this exam? In those 3 weeks, my father and I did numerous test booklets. Some were easy and some were difficult. On the morning of the SCA, I tried to remember all the positive things my mother told me in the van. When I entered the exam room, was assigned to my seat, I started praying to God, asking Him to take control of everything. Finally, the long-awaited SCA exam was over. When my parents came to pick me up, they asked me how it was. I said it was hard, but I answered all the questions. After 3 months and 1 week of waiting anxiously, the results finally came out, and all my fears disappeared. I am so happy for this. I thank God, my parents, my brother Student for eagerly picking me up from classes, my teachers for working with me, Reverend Esther Moore Roberts, Reverend Sherman Wilkinson, Reverend Dr. Anna James for all the prayers that they prayed for us, and lastly, Mrs. Maeve Nelson Eastman, who worked tirelessly with me right up to the exam. I will forever be grateful. The Signal Hill Secondary School has opened its doors for me. I will go and shine on the hill and make my family proud.
So you've heard it. Really, really very proud of you. Let's give them a hearty round of applause, all of them. Yes, so our journey continues. 7 years ago, we had our first award ceremony here. And as I said before, we had 4 awardees. And we have tried to track all the persons who would have passed through these doors or these walls. And we have 2 young ladies here this evening. They performed commendably. One was the top awardee, and the other placed a very close second. Now, they both continued their education. One remained in Tobago, and the two siblings went overseas. Today, I want to recognize and welcome the Sylvester sisters, Adine and Adalia. Not here. Oh, they left. Okay, so we're so sorry about that. All right? So that we want to, at this point, welcome the person who would have gained the top place in our inaugural Beryl Jack Awards function. And why? Because 7 years would have passed. 5 years at to O-levels, and then 2 years to the Cape advanced level. So this is a young lady who would have represented well over the period, both academically and in extracurricular activities. So much so that in the second year of sixth form, she received a very special award, the Science, Engineering, Technology Award. And this award was bestowed on the most outstanding sixth form student at Bishop's High School. And we're sharing this because this is supposed to be inspire and motivate all the students who are here today. So that this was an award that was sponsored by a Bishop's alumnus called Dr. Garth Beach. And it was given in honor of a former UWI research chancellor and emeritus professor, a gentleman called Stephen Gift. And he's one of the island's most brilliant minds. But so this young lady, she has now completed 7 years of secondary schooling, and she is one of the first recipients, and she's ready to move on now to tertiary level. So before she leaves these shores, even right now, we're asking if she would share with us what this particular journey has been like, because we have heard from persons who completed 1 year. She has completed 7 years. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome our inaugural recipient, and her name is Miss Daisha Joseph.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. All protocols observed. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Daisha Joseph, and I am the Junior President of the Beryl R. Jack Educational Legacy Foundation. But before I stood here today, I was sitting exactly where you are now. I was one of the students seated at the front, talking, laughing, and celebrating with my friends at the inaugural ceremony of this very event, just like many of you are doing today. Almost 7 years ago, I completed my SCA examination. I remembered the feeling of freedom, the relief that all studying was over, that summer was here, and that I had nearly 4 months to relax. It felt like I had reached the finish line. But looking back at it now, I realized that SCA wasn't the finish line at all. It was only the starting line. First of all, congratulations. Completing SCA is a tremendous achievement. You've worked hard, sacrificed your free time, and made your family proud. So breathe, take a moment to celebrate, because you have earned it. However, it doesn't stop there. What matters now is how you use the opportunities ahead of you. One lesson I learned very early on is that your education is what you make it. You can attend the best school in the country and waste every opportunity you're given, or you can attend a school that others often overlook and accomplish incredible things. It isn't the name of the school that determines your future. It is the choices that you make every single day. From a young age, I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to do something meaningful with my life. I set goals for myself and treated them like milestones. I was determined to do well in SEA, check. Finish high school with excellent grades in CSEC, also check. Complete sixth form and pass all my CAPE subjects, check again. Finish university, well, I'm still working on that one. But I refused to give up on my goals. That didn't mean I was perfect, because we all slip up sometimes. It simply meant that even when things got difficult, I kept going. So I encourage each of you today to set goals, not someone else's goals, but your own. Make them realistic, make them meaningful, then work consistently towards them. Now, I won't pretend that high school was always easy. Everything will feel new. Along with maths and English, you'll suddenly have subjects that you probably never even heard of before. You'll meet new teachers, new classmates, and face new challenges. At times, it may even feel overwhelming, but don't let that scare you. Those challenges will help you grow into the person you are meant to become. While you're there, don't forget to enjoy the journey. Make new friends, laugh often, join clubs, play sports, try something new, but most importantly, keep your faith. The main thing that kept me throughout any and every hardship was prayers and the love of God. Constant prayer was made, not just by me, but by my parents, family, and friends to give me that guidance and discernment to continue my education successfully. Not everyone who walks beside you is meant to influence your path. Choose friends who encourage you to become better, who pray with you when things seem difficult, and not those who pull you away from your faith and goals. Another thing I've learned is that success looks different for everyone. Now, for me, if I tell myself I'll only spend about an hour on TikTok in the morning and I actually do it, that's a small success. It may sound funny, but success is simply keeping the promises you make to yourself. Don't allow social media, classmates, or even society to define what success should look like for you. Only you can define your success. As I prepare for this next chapter in my life, I find myself experiencing many of the same emotions you may be feeling today. In just a few weeks, I will be leaving the comfort of my own home and traveling to Jamaica to attend the University of the West Indies, where I will pursue a Bachelor's of Science degree in Actuarial Science. There, I will be meeting new people, adapting to a new environment, and learning how to navigate life in a different country. It's exciting, but if I'm being honest, it's a little nerve-wracking. Yet, I've come to understand that growth often begins where comfort ends. Every new chapter in life comes with uncertainty, but it also comes with opportunities you have never imagined. Just as I am trusting God and embracing this new journey, I encourage each of you to do the same as you begin yours. Be willing to learn, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to believe that God has already gone ahead of you. I'm excited for what lies ahead, not just for me, but for every one of you here today, because I know that today's celebration is only the first page of a much greater story. As I stand here today, I can honestly say that the books, school supplies, libraries, people, and opportunities I have received through this foundation have helped shape my journey. They reminded me that there were people who believed in me and wanted me to succeed. Today, this foundation is investing in you. These books, stationery, and more are more than just gifts. They are tools. Use them. Learn from them. Grow with them. One day, I hope you'll be standing where I am, giving back to another group of students and proving that kindness always comes full circle. Congratulations once again to every SEA graduate seated here today, dream big, work hard, believe in yourself, and remember that your SCA result is only the beginning of an incredible journey. I thank you, and may God continue to bless each and every one of you.
Desha, don't go too far, just stay right there. So thank you very much, Desha, for everything that you have done, everything that you are, everything that you have said. And we hope that you will continue to mentor our young ones, that you will continue to grace us with your presence here. Let us know how you're doing. Okay? Yes. And so, on behalf of the organizing committee, I think we have a small gift for you. Something that we believe you may need. And it is a brand new HP 14-inch laptop computer. And it is to assist you with your studies along the way. And this gift, this particular gift, is courtesy Mr. Franklin Dickey Mark of the US. And he is himself a former youth group member under Sister Beryl Jack. So the persons from the community, did I say something wrong? Okay. They confuse. Sister Esther, talk to you people, please. They're confused. So where was? Dickey Mark, right? So the point I want to make is how important it is, young people, to give back. That is all we ask. We don't want your whole salary or whatever, but we just want to know that you too will make a contribution so that somebody else will get an opportunity to succeed. That's all we ask. All right? So, yes, so I think they want to bombard Desha, because she is, of course, a member of the Montgomery Steel Ensemble. And like she's doing some solo work these days or duet work. So that, I don't know if she's going to take her pan up to Jamaica. And so Dickey Mark's cousin Zan was the one that presented. So we really want to say congratulations, Desha. We're really, really very proud of you. And you will do well. So, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for big people to talk. And, yes. So, at this point, it's really my distinct honor and pleasure as chairman to introduce a daughter of Tobago. A daughter of Tobago, daughter of Bethel, whose career has been defined by opening doors for others, and whose journey reflects the very values that we celebrate today. Our featured speaker is a powerhouse of public service with a passion for youth advocacy and a deeper passion for community development. She has indeed dedicated her career to fostering opportunity and to empowerment, not just in community development and sport, but among the youth, not only in Tobago, but in our nation. She's a graduate, since we're talking education, of Bethune-Cookman College in Florida, USA, where she obtained her first degree, a bachelor's in international affairs with honors, and then later a master's of science in international trade policy from UWI Cayfield campus. And I'm saying that this young lady exemplifies what is possible through dedication to education and commitment to service. A former member of parliament for over 2 terms, a devoted member of this Montgomery congregation. Always have to get the church element in there. And Reverend Esther, have I told you before what an excellent job you're doing here? Yes. We really call the Empowerment Foundation right here in these walls. You know, but she is also a very faithful member of this Montgomery Moravian Church, even when she was busy with matters of state. I know that she came here very often. So please join me in offering a very warm welcome to our featured speaker this afternoon, Mrs. Shamfa Cudjoe Lewis.
Thank you so much, Reverend Cowie. I smiled when she said, a devout member of the congregation, so I'm happy to be still considered a member of the congregation. I want to recognize Reverend Moore, Reverend Dr. James, Reverend Wilkinson, all the other officers and members of clergy. I want to really salute the Montgomery Steel Ensemble for the work that you are doing in the community and in the church. So I want to greet each and every one of you and just say it's good to be here. It's good to still be considered a Moravian because I have not been at church as often as I should. Since I got married, my husband trying to make me Methodist, but it is sing too slow over there. So whenever I get a chance, I come back where I can get rhythm and vibes and what I'm accustomed to. So I'm hanging in there. So I just want to say it's a privilege to join you this evening as we celebrate this remarkable milestone with these youngsters. I want us to give our church a round of applause. There are many other churches not doing this. Today belongs to these young people who dare to dream, dare to work hard, dare to preserve their spot and to make the sacrifice to enter secondary school. It's a real blessing to be here with you guys and to celebrate with you. I want to say congratulations to you. You have made your parents proud, your teachers proud, and you have made Bethel Village and the environs, the places where you're from, lift our head again. But most importantly, today you have proven that you can accomplish difficult things. Going through common entrance, well, we called it common entrance then, and SEA now, that time is a very stressful time for a child, and you wonder if they would make it. And to this day, the debate is still on as to if we need to keep SEA or get rid of it because it's just too much pressure on the children. But what you have proven is that you are able, you are capable of accomplishing difficult things. And I want you to give yourselves a round of applause. The theme today is honoring academic excellence, celebrating future leaders. And when people hear about excellence, we tend to think about medals and trophies and certificates and so on. But I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, that excellence is so much bigger than that. Excellence is not something that happens one day. You do something and then you're excellent. It's a lifestyle. It's not an event. It's an attitude. It's how you carry yourself. It is how you show up. It is waking up every morning and deciding to give your very best in whatever you do, even when nobody else is watching. Because as you go further and further, as you move up and up secondary school, you go away to university, you move further away from parents and supervision and so on. And you have to remember to be excellent and to do your best, even when no one else is watching. And I like to remind people that we are made in the image and likeness of God. And God don't make no mess. So you are supposed to think and feel like you're excellent. And you know, people would often say, she feels she nice, eh? Well, of course. If I don't feel I nice, how I could expect somebody else to think I'm nice? So you have to treat teach people how to treat you, and you have to see goodness in yourself first and learn to see goodness in others. We have to learn to clap for each other too, but I will get back to that a little later. So it's not an event, it's a lifestyle. It's about this making the decision to study, youngsters, when others are wasting time. Because you see what is happening in school these days, the teachers are not there every day. And they have a way of striking in a very subtle way. But they are not in the classrooms as often as they used to be when we were younger. So children have to learn to establish that culture of excellence, even when no one else is watching. Excellence is about doing the right thing when it seems difficult. It's refusing to settle for good enough. It's about getting in there and giving your very, very best. So you didn't wake up one morning and was ready for C. You had to work day after day, month after month, year after year, doing your homework, doing past papers, making corrections. There were moments of frustration, but you stayed in there and you kept going. And that is what excellence is all about. It is that habit that you carry everywhere, every day, in all areas of your life. And I want to tell you, whether it is your intention to become a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, a DJ, whatever you are in life, success will always follow people who are constantly pursuing excellence. I want to say that again to each and every one of you. Success will always follow people who consistently pursue excellence. So once you work hard and you believe in what you've set out to do, you will accomplish it, no matter what anybody else says about you, and no matter your circumstances. It is about the work that you put in that brings excellence. And it's important that I make that point, because there are people who would wait for common entrance or SEA results to come out, and they would wait to ask the children, what school you passed for? And then some schools would be celebrated more than other schools. Some people make the children feel badly if they didn't pass for bishops. And there are parents who spend the July-August period running around looking for a transfer when the child didn't pass for bishops. And I think we all have been around long enough to know that just because you pass for bishop, that don't mean you're going to be what you thought you were going to be, or what your parents thought you were going to be. Yes, because it's not about the name of the school or the school uniform. It's about the students showing up and giving your very best. So your school does not determine your destiny. You do. What you put into this thing, how much you give, how you show up, how you show out, that is what determines your destiny. Now, the school provides opportunity, teachers can provide guidance, and parents can provide support. But only you can decide how hard you will work when you go to school. Yeah? Some of the world's greatest leaders didn't go to a fancy school. I will tell you, when I passed my common entrance for Scarborough Sec, I have an aunt who was a bishopian, and she went to check to see what my scores were. And she saw, okay, I scored higher than some people who passed for bishop, so she was arguing, why wasn't she placed there? The Ministry of Education gave whatever reason, and my parents said, we're not getting any transfer for her. She is going wherever she passed for. Where they place her, she's going there. Because it is what you bring to the school, not the name of the school, not the uniform. It is how you apply yourself. So parents, I want you to remember that. Students, I want you to remember that. But what is exceptional about the people who didn't go to the fancy school, but they still were able to accomplish or to do great things? It is how they showed up. It is their attitude. It is the discipline. It is the resilience. It is their willingness to keep working. It's how you see yourself and the plans that you have for yourself. I like to say, I don't ever lose. I either win or I learn, but I don't ever lose. And I'm here to tell you that you wouldn't always win. There are hills and there are valleys. You've never seen a place where there are hills or high points that there aren't also low points. In order for there to be high points, there have to be low points. Therefore, in order for you to win, you have to lose sometimes. In order for you to see and enjoy the beauty and the view of the mountaintop, you have to go through your valley season and learn what you have to learn in the valley. Because there are some lessons that can only be learned in the valley. Yes? So you have to try and try again. That's why I wanted this young lady to come up and get another chance, but it's okay, we go work on her. Losing is important. Yeah, you wouldn't always win. I tell you, you see that KFC that we love to eat in town? KFC fried chicken, all around the world, every country you go to, you've seen a KFC. Well, Colonel Saunders had to try 1,009 times before he got a recipe that the restaurants would love. 1,000, could you imagine taking your SEA 1,009 times? 1,009 times. He never gave up. Thomas Edison, who created the light bulb, he tried over 10,000 times before getting the light bulb to work. So every time they made a mistake or it didn't work out, at least you know I did something wrong. Let me go back and try this. Let me go back and tweak that. And you become better and better with every try. Yeah? I say to people who say, that good you lose election, your day is done. And I say to you, there is not one prime minister in this country that never lost an election. Go do your research. Not one. You have to lose sometime and go back and do your homework and learn new things and learn new tricks and come back bigger, better, and stronger. And that's what excellence is really all about. An important part of this thing, though, Jaden, and I know your name because you know you're my boy, right? A very important part of this excellence that we talk about, it starts with you. So you have to be certain about yourself. You have to be sure about yourself. You have to be determined to be that student that sets a standard and raises the bar. Know who you are. I'll tell you something. I've traveled and visited and spoken at schools throughout Trinidad and Tobago and engaged young people, developed programs, work with them throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And there's something that we do in Tobago that we must find a way to correct. We raise the children where they're shy, they're not sure, they come up to talk, they wring in their hand. It is something that we do in our culture. And we have to figure out how do we break that so our children show up solid. Because oftentimes, you place a Tobagonian out in the world with the right support and the right resources, and we would blaze them up in every single corner. So we know they're not brighter than we are. We know they're not brighter than we are. Yes? But where they beat us is that sense of certainty and sense of self. So we have to work on making these youngsters confident as they go out to school. You send Tobago children to Trinidad for a competition. And let me tell you, any of you, now I'm not bad talking Trinidadians, so Trinidadians in the house, don't feel no way. This is just from experience. But you will get promoted to a position in Trinidad or somewhere else, let's say somewhere else in the world. And the people, you're asked a question, and that person next to you is given the wrong answer with a confidence that make you kind of question yourself, like, you've seen it. You've seen it because when you check the record, that person wrong. But because you didn't speak up, and you didn't speak out, or you've gone to a staff meeting, and you have the answer under your breath, but somebody else saying something wrong and strong. So it's confidence we have to work on and break that shyness out of our youngsters so they step out there solid. So I want us to be sure about ourselves. Be that student who shows up at school prepared, ready, teachable, who's ready to help others. Concentrate on your character. Make sure that it's not only about getting good grades. It's about building the type of character that is ready to learn and ready to do well in life. Respect others, and they would respect you too. Show up. Be conscious about how you show up and how you carry yourself. Because wherever excellence walks, people notice. Wherever excellence walks, people notice. You see Sir Gardiner? When Sir Gardiner walked up to this podium, he walked with a confidence. Yes? It's true. So it's about how we show up and how we teach our youngsters to show up. So to you young people, some people allow life to happen to them. You say, well, I'm from Bethel, so you've heard that before. Yes? Oh, my mother poor, so I couldn't. And I'm saying, don't let your neighborhood, your village, your circumstances define your future. It is you. You have to raise up a standard for yourself. Don't let anybody tell you your family's struggling financially, so you can't dream big. You young people of today, you don't have that kind of worries. Back in the days when we didn't have access to GATE and all these opportunities for education, you had to be careful how you dream. You can't dream too big because your parents can't afford it. You have to dream within limits. But you young people in today of internet, YouTube, you name it, GATE, help, so many different opportunities. You have no goat or sheep to tie out. You have no bucket of water to really live. Well, it's getting a little iffy as it relates to that. But I'm saying their circumstances are different than their parents and their grandparents. We're just asking you to show up. Look at you today. You have your own printer. You have your own printer. For us, that was a luxury back then. You had to go by the library and pay the money in the printers used to have a slot to put in the money so that you could print. Now, each and every one of you have your own laptop and your own printer. You have no excuse. You really have no excuse. So you have to show up brilliantly and really, really pursue excellence. Because I tell you something, these parents, they sacrificed. Many of them went without so that you could have books, you could have uniforms, you could go on field trips. There's plenty of people don't get to do their eyelashes and their nails. It's not that they do not want to. Mommy wanted to do her eyelashes and her nails. And she wanted to change her wig to something that was nice when everybody else was wearing something nice. Yes, but she made the sacrifice to make sure that you had what you want. You have grandparents. We have any grandparents in the house today? Yes. You have grandparents who stepped in to help out. You have neighbors who encourage you. Anybody showing up here today because you're just a neighbor? Yes. You have persons who, if you don't have a child that graduated this year, raise your hand. Some of we just come to Mako. Yes. It's good. It's good. That means the community feels invested. These are our children too. So we have to mind our business. I know my mommy like to go to every graduation. Even she don't know anybody there, she going. Because we believe, Reverend James said earlier, we are anxious. We want to see what these young people bring. We don't depend on the old folks to fight for us. We depend on the youngsters, the little children who walk up to you and say, "What is your password?" That's a different kind of child. And they get in your phone, they're making reels, they're making videos. I'm excited to see what those young people will become. So we are depending on you. But I'm saying you have people behind you, neighbors, mummies, daddies, grandparents, people in the community that you might call them Mako, but we minding we business because we're depending on you to come and make a difference in the community. So I'm saying, don't forget those sacrifices, because sometimes as young people we get too big for our shoes and we forgot what mommy endured or had to sacrifice to get to where we are. Where you begin doesn't have to be where you finish. So whatever's going on in your family, in your community, it's not always very peaceful and happy, but you want to make sure that you change the direction for your family. My mother used to say, just because I'm a checker don't mean you have to be a checker. I don't want you to be a checker. I don't want you to wake up to have to go to work for 7:15 in the morning. Because all your parents want for you better. That is why they sacrifice. So remember that sacrifice. And it could be you that would change the script, change the game, change the future for your family. One graduate, one good decision, one professional, one visionary, one disciplined young person at a time can transform the whole generation, can transform the story for that family. So believe in yourself. Perhaps you would be the first person to graduate from university. I think we're beyond that by now. Everybody family up in here have somebody who graduated from university. We know that very well. Thanks to the education system in Trinidad and Tobago, there are other countries that don't have that. But maybe you would be the first lawyer, the first doctor, the first pilot. You know how proud I feel to say, this guy Lawrence from our church. I like to tell people, I like to show his video and say, we're from the same community. Yes? So go out there, be the first pilot, the first scientist, the first architect, the first member of parliament even from your family, because we need good people in government too. Yes? At the end of the day, it's about you and your purpose. At the end of the day, it's about you and your purpose. And I want to spend 2 minutes to tell you that your purpose is as unique as your fingerprint. God is so excellent in all his works that he gave everybody a different fingerprint. Can you imagine that? How great is our God? Every single person has a different fingerprint. And in that same vein, every single person has a different purpose. So don't let me catch you comparing yourself to your neighbor or your neighbor children. Please. I know you understand what I'm saying now. Watch me strange. Don't catch yourself comparing yourself to your neighbor or your neighbor children or trying to catch up with somebody else. No. God made you to do something specific and unique and different and special. And oftentimes we lose out on our blessing by not showing up in our purpose to do what God called us to do, we're busy following somebody else. So remember, if one person wants to be a scientist and the other person wants to be an electrician, that scientist is going to need an electrician to fix that machine one day. Because 9 out of 10 times he can't fix it for himself. So everybody is important. And it's about showing up the best electrician and the best scientist and the best entrepreneur as you can possibly be. So chart your own course. Build your own legacy. Chart your own course. Build your own legacy for yourself, for your family, for your community. I remember growing up in Church Street, Lower Bethel, and Anthony, by Messi Vandy, and they had passed for bishops, and Church Street celebrated because that was the first bishops we had in our street. Now you have many, and now we have many more schools that we can celebrate. So chart your own course, let's celebrate each other and help people to build their legacy. Legacy is not what people leave for you. It's about what you develop and what you leave for others. And I'm saying to you, perhaps it is you who would change your family's life and your family's story. But when we think about legacy, sometimes we think about if somebody left a house for you or riches in the bank for you. I'm saying it's not that. It's about what people say about you after you have left. It's not about money. We want people to be able to say, there goes somebody who is honest, somebody who serves others. That man is a man of his word. That person is a wise person or was a wise person. That person made a decision or did something to make our community better. In the same vein as Sister Beryl Jack. There's nothing more fitting than this, what we're doing here, to celebrate and honor Sister Jack. Now, she was a strict one. She was firm. Them little children used to fear. You don't want to reach late. So Miss Jack practiced. But because she had an appetite for excellence. Yeah? And she carried those qualities that we want to inspire these young people with. That is her legacy. We don't know, many of us in here, we don't know if she left, how she left, land she left. But she left us with the ability to do this, to celebrate her life, to celebrate her accomplishment, to celebrate what she was working on for these young people to this day. That we not only give in books, we give in laptop and printer. Montgomery, we are building our own legacy because many other churches don't have this. And it took one Beryl Jack. Not a whole group, so sometimes you don't see the numbers with you. But it takes one little drop to make a ripple. So I want to thank you for celebrating Miss Jack in this way because there is no other way that is more fitting. So I want to tell you about integrity and work ethic. Spend time on these things. To the parents in the room, these achievements didn't happen by accident. You worked, you sacrificed, you prayed, you covered these children in prayer. You encouraged them, you corrected them. You stayed up late, you believed. And I want to thank you for that. Please continue to do your part as they go off to big school, as we like to call it. Because oftentimes parents turn a blind eye at this stage. They start listening to music that have bad word in it, and you say, they're in secondary school, and you pretend you didn't hear. It's plenty years of pretending you didn't hear that has turned out in trouble. Yes? So yes, they are still your children, and they would forever be your children. And they're entering a stage where they are facing all types of challenges, peer pressure, learning to be independent, miss not watching over you like she used to watch over you before. It's a bigger school, larger numbers. Today they have to grapple with social media, bullying through social media, people telling them things about themselves that they don't know what to believe, and you have suicide and so many social ills so prevalent among young people today. We need parents to remain present. Roblox cannot train and discipline your children. Because as much as we leave them on Roblox and whatever other games they play on their tablets, they are adults on these games trying to parent them and groom them for you. So yes, it keeps them quiet and they look like they're not up to anything. They're just on their tablet. But mind your business before somebody else who doesn't mean well mind your business for you. Check on them, macro them, monitor them. My mother had a way that when we were asleep in secondary school, she would check in our school bags while we were asleep. She see something strange, she would take it out and ask, what is this? So when we recognized that that was a practice of hers, we start putting strange things in the bags just to provoke her. So she would go in the bag and find a grater in the bag. But it's a good thing because, she was watching, she was monitoring you, So as they go off to secondary school, there'll be distractions and there'll be so many moments that they doubt themselves. I'm saying, please remain present. Please know their friends and make sure their friends are true friends, because there are too many young people today losing themselves and losing their lives in the company of friends, people who they call friends. So know their friends, that's your business. Listen before you judge, because oftentimes they'll come home with stories and it don't make too much sense, but listen, do more listening before you talk and before you judge. Encourage them to be not only educated but wise. Not only educated but wise. Because oftentimes you meet young people, they know everything in the book, but you throw them out into the working world or on the street and they can't tell the knee from the elbow. Teach them to be wise, and not only to depend on what they've read in a book or what they've seen on TV, but to do some reading and to ask questions, critical thinking. There is another thing that we must look at. Parents today, we spend time buying brands for the children. And yes, we want our children to look nice. Yes. We sometimes think that we can buy them stuff so that they would... It's like you're trying to be friends with the children. Yes, you want them to feel, you don't want anybody teasing them at school also, so you buy nice things. But I'm here to tell you, it's all about your time, spending time with them, knowing who they are, them understanding you, feeling comfortable having a conversation with you. It's being present, it's giving them your time, your encouragement, and your unconditional love. Because children who are loved, and children who know, if you know your parents love you, you know your parents behind you, you know your community is with you, you show up in the world differently. So be mindful of that, and remember to be fully present and operate from a place of love. To you youngsters, leadership begins now. It doesn't begin the day you get a title. It's about choosing to be honest and not to be a cheater. It's about helping somebody out of a challenging situation like bullying. It's about your everyday decisions. Yeah, so dream. Dream boldly and show up certain and solid in the world. I want to take this opportunity to just really say thanks to Montgomery Moravian Church, because you are investing not only in their spiritual growth, but you're looking at how they're developing intellectually. And you're not just looking, you are making that investment. It means so much. It is important for the church to be the church once again, because the church has taken a position like what's going on out there in our country that had to do with the government or that has to do with parenting, and church is not involved as they used to be back then. Back then you had a child have to be in Sunday school. And then there was young Montgomery Youth Arm or Youth Movement. There was something every step along the way for the social growth. And if there was a challenge in the community, the men in Bethel from the different churches would go out and talk with the young men. You remember when we used to do that? We've lost so many of those practices, and I'm saying return to that calling, because the church has a very important role to play as it relates to the social welfare and the social fabric of our community. You see, we look at these young people today and we say somebody's going to be a doctor, a lawyer. You see the bad man out there and the murderer out there, he was once sitting up here, graduating, going into secondary school, and we were saying nice things about him. But somewhere along the line, somebody dropped the ball. It could be parents, it could be church, it could be some other entity. But I want to harp on our role as a community, and the church being an important part of the community in molding and nurturing the social fabric. Because every rude boy sat in somebody's nursery school. Every abuser sat in somebody's secondary school at some point in time, or came to church and was celebrated, and we spoke about good things. But then we started to mind with business. Minding your business could be a bad thing sometimes, because we've developed an attitude where it's not my picnic, not my problem. Let the church be, let the community be your business once again. Your neighbor is your business. So we have to play our role as a community. I smile to myself because I remember Miss Imelda. I don't know if she's here today, but Miss Imelda used to look out for me. She used to look out for me. And I used to say, Miss Imelda, I like people business too much. Yes. I'd have a little boyfriend in the village and thing. And Miss Imelda used to tell on me. She used to tell on me. Yes. I used to act like I'm going up by the shop, and we used to meet by the corner and Lime. And one night, oh my God, how did I end up here? But I'm telling you anyway. One night, my mommy timed me. And I was by the corner standing up there. And when I saw the little walk from the corner, I tell him, run. Run. So when she came to me, she was like, I just saw a young man standing here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She decided to keep walking up the road. And you see, from the time she reached the junction, Miss Melda was there, ready, gave the whole story. He went there. She walked over to Miss Angela's shop, had a full conversation. So I say, thank you, Miss Melda, for looking out. You know? And you need people to watch. You need people to watch out for you, because you won't be in every single corner. So I'm saying the village needs to be the village again. Yeah, and when I was young, I say, she too much cautious, and now I say, thank you, Miss Melda. Yes, so we have to mind each other business, and we have to look out and stand up for each other. So the community needs to be the community again. The village needs to be the village again. These are all our children. So as I conclude to you young graduates, this is the beginning. It's not the finish line. This is a starting line for you, because you're going to a new school and you're able to show up differently. When you walk into that new school, I want you to walk into that new school with confidence. Remain humble, remain teachable, remain disciplined. Continue pursuing excellence every single day. It is not an event. It is not one single occasion. It is how you live. And as we talk about excellence and confidence, I would offer myself and my services to you I run an academy called Stella Academy of Leadership and Etiquette. And I've been working with young people who are interested in getting involved in politics, with youth leaders and women who are in management roles, teaching them to stand their ground and to be solid and show up solid in the world as it relates to management and leading. And I've now ventured into helping children with etiquette and showing up with confidence. I don't charge children though. And the first group I'm working with is them little cudgel children because they're wild. So it's going to be my first time working with children. So allow me this July, August, I'm working this week with them. But I say in the month of September, I can offer you a 1-day or 2-day free of charge, dining, etiquette, showing up with confidence, presence, and so on. So the Montgomery Steel and Some, if you want to organize that, I'll offer to you free. Yeah? So we can do that. But I'm saying we want these kids, when they walk through these school gates, to show up solid, to show up strong, to show up knowing who they are and to whom they belong. You're a child of the Most High God. How do you show up unsure? You can't. You can't do that because He made you to be strong. And He said you can do anything. Anything through Christ who strengthens you. Anything. And He asks you to have faith as little as a mustard seed. You know how small a mustard seed is? Just have faith in Him. And He will do the amazing and the unbelievable things. So you better show up with that certainty. Show up knowing that you are a child of God, that you are a prince, that you walk in His image and His likeness. I want that for you. So if you want to work, let's do it. I say never forget that your circumstances do not define you. Your school does not define you. Other people's opinion do not define you. I remind myself, what people say about me is not my business. It's not my business at all. And trust me, people say a lot about me. But I've been in tongue long enough to know that if I'm walking from here to down by Mickey and I stop to pelt every dog that run out at me, I'm not reaching anywhere. And I'm going to run out a stone too. So you have to keep trekking. What people saying about you, not your businesses. When I approach young people, I like to say, what are you telling yourself? Because you see what you telling yourself. When you look in that mirror, what you say you're going to accomplish today, that is what matters. If you think you're beautiful, I don't care if your eye up here and your nose down here. Once you tell yourself you're beautiful and you show up in the world with that confidence, then nothing could beat you. You're a child of the Most High God, who tell the ocean how far to come in and tell the wind where to blow. Believe in your God. I'm moved to say this to you. Believe in your God and what He can do and what He can protect you from. There are a lot of people who go out there and try to make you feel somebody could do this to you and somebody could do that. That person could only do to you if their power is higher and stronger than your Most High God. So you have to believe in your Most High God first and foremost. I like to say nobody can do me nothing. You can try. My God don't have no pajamas. Send those children out there with that confidence and not being afraid of all kind of strange, crazy things. I'm moved to say that to you today. Send them out there with that certainty of their God, being with them and protecting them every single step along the way. I'll close with a quote from my grandmother. When I was in about second year, well, my mommy had 8 of us and we were all about a year apart. So my grandmother took some of us to ease her of the stress. And I used to sleep with my grandmother. But she would wake up in the morning, she used to work in the hospital and she was having some problems on work. And she used to pray saying, "Dear God, I don't know how to fight them, but I know how to pray. And that, my God, is enough." So I close with that. Step out there with that kind of confidence, knowing that you have God on your side, and that, my dear, is enough. So I want to thank you. God bless you. Go with confidence. Go with faith. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Montgomery. Keep creating and maintaining this strong legacy. God bless you. Thank you.
How can we say thanks? Because you have left us with so many pearls of wisdom that what I was doing when you were talking, I decided to just see if I can pick one thing and give it to our students. I hadn't quite finished, but we'll see how it goes. So, Shazim, what I want you to remember, apart from what you remember yourself, is what Mrs. Cudgel Lewis said, that excellence is not an event. It is a lifestyle that you try to develop when no one is watching. Okay? So, Jalissa, remember too, everything that you want to remember, but I want to leave this one with you, that success follows people who consistently follow excellence. Jalen, I want you to remember that your purpose is as unique as your fingerprint. Kezia, be sure about yourself and set standards. Always raise the bar. And so Taj, you never lose, you learn. So Janeem, wherever excellence walks, people notice. And after Janeem, who it was again? Help me. Huh? LeSean, yes. And for LeSean, only you can decide how you will apply yourself. So be disciplined and be resilient. Sterlia, where are you? Show up prepared and teachable. Concentrate on building your character. And always respect is really important. That's it. And of course, Genesis also, we hear that you need also to not let your environment decide what your future. All right? So let's hear it again for our featured speaker this evening, and we will walk away with those words of wisdom. Thank you so much. We know we have kept you here a little beyond there, but we're winding down, because at this point I want to introduce some of our entertainers, our panelists, and I understand that they are DDS Fusion, and they're going to do a selection for us, and then we will do the vote of thanks. So that's DDS. So this is Delise, this is Desha, and Shaquana. Are you going to share what you're going to play, or we supposed to figure it out? Shaq? Dale, did you arrange? What's the tune of choice? Oh, okay. Well, I think I know this one, so you will know this one too. And graduates or awardees, you can internalize that, because we are inviting you to do this song. Okay, so you will recognize it. Okay. So we've just heard from DDS Fusion, the S is Shakona, one D, Desha, and the other D, Delicia. And we're taking bookings. So thank you, ladies. And today, admittedly, is a day of Thanksgiving. You know, all the speakers and everything that has happened here today, we recognize today as a day of Thanksgiving, giving God praise and thanks for all that he has given us, all that he has blessed us with. And so as good Christians, we know that in all things we give him thanks. We know that every perfect gift comes from above. And so we have been well trained. And at this time, it is my great pleasure to introduce a young lady who is going to say thanks on behalf of the entire organizing committee. She is the chair of the Beryl Educational Legacy, as well as the captain of the, I nearly say RBC, the Montgomery Steel Ensemble. And she is Odette Joseph, and she is going to be delivering an expression of thanks at this time. So let's welcome Odette.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. We thank God for such a beautiful day that we can come together to celebrate the successes of the children that has been placed in our care. Reverend Esther Moore Roberts, our other members of the clergy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, awardees, parents, and friends. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to stand here this evening as chair of the Beryl R. Jack Educational Legacy Foundation to present this vote of thanks. As we bring this meaningful evening to a close, our hearts are truly full with a feeling of satisfaction. This evening was never just about gathering in this church. It was about celebrating a vision. The Beryl R. Jack Educational Legacy Foundation was built on the belief that education is the greatest catalyst for change, empowerment, and opportunity. Looking around here this evening, it is evident that Mrs. Jack's spirit of excellence, dedication, and service continues to live on in each of us. An event of this magnitude does not happen by chance. It is a result of countless hours of planning, dedication, teamwork, and the generosity of many people who believe in this mission. First of all, let me thank our talented panelists, Anil Hackett, Delise Romeo, Desha Joseph, and Shakwana Grenado, who call themselves the DDS Fusion. They are all members of the Steel Ensemble. Thank you for blessing us with your remarkable talent. Your beautiful musical selection set the tone for the evening and were truly appreciated by everyone present. To our awardees choir, under the capable tutelage of our esteemed committee member, Ms. Sandra Baines-Brown, this was your debut performance. And what a debut it was. You certainly nailed it. Your performance was exceptional, and we are so proud of you. Thank you to all the parents for support and for allowing your children to be part of this special occasion. And Zan, I think it's safe to say the choir is here to stay. Keep working with them. They have something truly special. To our ministers, Reverend Esther, Reverend Dr. Annette James, and Reverend Sherman, thank you for your prayers, your encouragement, and your unwavering support. Your words continue to strengthen and inspire us. and we are deeply grateful for the role each of you has played in this evening's program. To our honored guest speaker, Mrs. Shamfa Cudjoe-Lewis, thank you for sharing your wisdom, your experiences, and your inspiring message. Success is the work that you put in to become excellent. Excellence starts with you, and you should have an appetite for excellence. So I want the awardees to remember this. Your words have challenged, encouraged, and motivated us all, especially our awardees. And we know they will carry your message with them as long as they continue their educational journey. To our generous sponsors and contributors, your unwavering financial support transforms our vision into reality. Thank you for investing in the future of our students and believing in the mission of this foundation. To our church family, thank you for your continued faithfulness and support throughout the years. To our supporters joining us online from the United States and Canada, thank you for consistently ensuring that your contribution reaches us in a timely manner. Your generosity continues to make a lasting difference, and we appreciate each of you. This evening, we are delighted to once again welcome Wendy, Jack Harris, and her husband James, along with their friends Carly and Carol John. These beautiful jerseys that we are wearing this evening were generously donated by them, and we thank you for it. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your continued partnership with the foundation. Thank you. Our dear friend Alex Brebner Winchester, how can we adequately say thank you? You are not here this evening, but I know you are somewhere around the world listening. You are always calling to ask if there's anything we need to bring in, and you do it so willingly every single time. Your generosity never goes unnoticed, and we sincerely appreciate all that you do for us. We would also like to say thanks to the person responsible for designing and producing our program booklets from the very beginning, Miss Angela Muddy Cooper. Your creativity and extraordinary talent have blessed this foundation for years, and you have always given so freely of your gift. Thank you for your dedication and your outstanding work. To our interior decorator, Mrs. Inez Devines Joseph. What can we say? Thank you for reminding us every year that you prefer to work alone. Because in your words, we are only distracting and disturbing you. So, Mrs. Joseph, we never take offense. In fact, we welcome it because it means less work for us to do. But in all seriousness, your creativity is extraordinary. Time after time, you transform ordinary spaces into beautiful, welcoming environments. Your work this evening is simply outstanding, and we are deeply grateful. And I must say, thanks to Jaren Joseph, because Jaren said this morning that he was doing all the work while you were talking. Thank you, Jaren. To our dedicated committee members and volunteers, thank you for the countless hours spent planning, organizing, setting up, and coordinating. We would also like to thank the photographer, the videographer, and the rest of the technical crew. Thanks to our own Reverend Liesel, who assisted us with the QR code. You see, we are stepping up this year. Reverend Liesel did that for us. so that you can get the program on your phone. Much of what you see here does not go unseen, but it is because of your commitment and teamwork that this evening has been such a tremendous success. To our educators, parents, and students, you are the very heart of everything we do. Thank you for your passion, your resilience, your sacrifices, and your commitment to education. You remind us every day why this foundation exists and why this work is so important. And finally, to the person who guided us so gracefully through this evening's program, Ms. Selma Cowie. As always, you have carried this evening with professionalism, elegance, and warmth. From the very inception of this foundation, you have been one of our strongest pillars of support. Thank you for your time, your commitment, and for so masterfully steering us through this evening's proceedings. We truly appreciate all that you continue to do for this foundation. As we leave here tonight, let us remember that while this program has come to an end, the work of the Beryl R. Jack Educational Legacy Foundation continues. Each scholarship awarded, just a minute. Each scholarship awarded, each contribution received, and every life encouraged tonight is another step toward building stronger families, stronger communities, and a brighter future for generations to come. May we continue to honor Mrs. Beryl Jack's legacy by investing in education, empowering young minds, and inspiring excellence wherever we go. Thank you for your presence, your generosity, your encouragement, and your unwavering commitment to keeping this legacy alive. May God richly bless each of you, grant you traveling mercies as you journey home, and may we meet again next year to celebrate even greater achievements. Thank you, have a safe journey home, and good evening.
Okay, thank you very much, Odette. Well, thank you for thanking us. And at this point, two things. The photo op, remember. And Reverend Esther, is there grace? Are you going to dismiss us or anything? Or are we good? Benediction? So we'll do the benediction, and then after, we ask the parents and the students, the awardees, to come. Mrs. Lewis, you don't leave yet because you want to have some pictures with you, with the children and all the ministers, the parents, and so on. It's going to be a coordinated event. So thank you so much. It has been a joy and a privilege being here, actually. Thank you.
Please stand, brothers and sisters. We have been sitting a while. Let us pray. Indeed, O God, you have blessed us, you have remained with us, and now that we are at the end of this evening's proceedings, we thank you for taking us through safely, for giving us so many lessons, and God giving us hope in the future for our children. And so I pray now the blessing of God Almighty, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit will remain with us on these journeys, now and always. Amen.
you.